Yeah, what is up? Welcome to Big Kid with Will Bryant, the show that makes you feel like a kid again. I'm your host, I'm Will Bryant, and this is me, guys. Not gonna lie, this is probably the least that I've prepared for an episode yet. We're just gonna I got some notes. I got some things I want to talk about, but not too many details. Bullet points, I guess, is all I've written down. Let's just start off with a little salute. Ojos, eyes. Cheers, guys. I'm here back with another episode. I'm trying to recover a little bit. I had the dumbest injury last weekend. I definitely. You ever know the exact moment you injured yourself, and just say to yourself, "Damn it, this is gonna piss me off for like a while." This wasn't one of those things where I woke up and wondered why I was hurting. Like I felt the moment. And I wish I had a cool story, but I don't. I was coughing last weekend, and suddenly I felt the pain in my lower back area, specifically lower back right side. I don't think it's anything kidney related because it literally hurt the moment I coughed. It felt like I pulled a muscle, a back muscle, while coughing. You remember when you were a kid and you could just throw yourself on the floor and have little to no disregard for what that would do to your knees or anything? I see kids now, they just throw themselves on the floor for like a rubber ball. I'm like, whoa. That's going to cost you in like 32 years, dude. For that same ball, draw up a blueprint of how I'm going to approach said ball and pick it up from the ground. I need a plan of attack when I'm picking things up off the floor now. And ideally, some rehearsal time. I'm not just diving in to pick stuff up. Are you kidding me? These kids drop a ball and they dive for it like it's a fumble in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. Dude, chill, relax. Being said, I hurt myself while coughing. And I remember the moment because I was just like, held that. And I remember thinking, damn it. Because I had to go into work in a couple hours, and if I have not mentioned, or if you just don't listen to me, I am a bartender. Speaking of lame injuries, I've 100% felt my shoulder kind of give out a little bit or have a little twinge while shaking a cocktail, and I had to have this stupid moment where I'm like, tough it through, man, tough it out. My back injured because I coughed. I coughed and my back went out. Some muscle pulled. A muscle I didn't even know I had. In fact, I probably don't ever use that muscle that I injured other than when I cough. And I just coughed. I've used up so many coughs that my back was like, that's it. This guy gets sick every month. It couldn't hold my coughs anymore. My back gave out because I'm too sick too often. I went an entire winter where I was sick for basically 84% of that winter. Winter's not done, I know. I stay sick. My back did all it could. All it could. My back was carrying me through the sickest winter I've ever had and finally gave out last week on one cough. I've been telling this to co-workers, friends, my girlfriend, they all reply with the same thing. They tell me that I should come up with a better story. They tell me that the story of my injury is so pathetic that I shouldn't be saying it out loud to people. And that I should come up with a lie and tell that instead. So what do? I record it on a podcast and release it to the world. Because you don't tell me what to do with my injury stories. I'm not going to betray the trust that I've built up here on Big Kid with Will Bryant. The show that makes you feel like a kid again. Except I don't feel like a kid with this pulled back. I work with like 18-year-old people that look at me with fear that they will become like me in 20 to 30 years. Something happens when you're 35 and you work with an 18-year-old. You're suddenly the oldest person in the entire world, somehow. I had to take Motrin from a customer at work to get by my shift. Because my back was out from a cough. I just realized I forgot to plug in a microphone. Oh well. That's what happens here. A cough took me out of commission. Actually, I wasn't out of commission. I worked. I was moving slow. I'll admit that. I did it. Power through. You know, I've had some really lame moments as a bartender. I remember one time, I'm telling you, I don't have cool injury stories. I don't. I'm not some adrenaline junkie that does high risk things and has cool stories. Not me. No. I am averse to taking risks and somehow still end up injuring the ever-loving hell out of myself. Case in point, was it last year? Year and a half ago? Either way. I had to go to the hospital because I fell in the bathroom. Again, I've been told that I should make something up. Something better than that. I fell in the bathroom. So I had a Truly, one of those hard seltzers, and I went to take a shower. Yes, with my Truly, because, I mean, why not? And I remember distinctly that someone had purchased new bath mats like the day before. And today was the maiden voyage of these bath mats. I didn't buy these bath mats, by the way. In fact, this happened right here, and I didn't even live here yet. My girlfriend was living with her roommate at the time, and I believe it was the roommate that bought these bath mats. And let me tell you something. These are the worst bath mats in the history of bathrooms. Amazon basically tried to kill me. There was rubber on these bath mats, but for some reason they did not stick at all. You would think that a bath mat would
would take itself seriously in trying to be less slippery when wet, because it's a bath mat. That's the main thing it's there for. Instead, this company, Amazon basically wants to kill me, made the rubber react to water in a way that made it the most slippery substance known to man. And this roommate took a shower, and I guess instead of drying off in the shower, decided to just fucking walk out like Namor does from the water and just let all the water fall onto the floor. And now this bath mat reacts with this water and essentially becomes a lubed up magic carpet ride for whoever's about to come in next. And you know who that was? This guy right here. Because I walked in like a stupid idiot, putting all my trust in a brand new bath mat. I stepped on this bath mat, and remember, I had a Truly in my hand. I leaned over to place the Truly into or on the ledge. We have a window with like a ledge in our shower. I went to place the Truly on that ledge, and the bath mat saw its opportunity to freaking kill me. And let me tell you, that bath mat could not have flown out from under my feet faster than it did. I went to lean to put this Truly on a ledge, and suddenly my feet were at the same height as my chest. Bath mat flung across the bathroom, and my ribs come crashing down on the ledge that you have to step over to get into the bathtub. I swear I felt a click the moment that my ribs impacted on the side of that bathtub. Woo, I was out. I was on the floor. Oh, the guttural sounds that came out of my mouth, I had never heard that before. I don't think I could imitate them right now if I wanted to. My girl came to the door. It was locked. I had to summon up all the strength I had in me to somehow inch my way to the lock. Barely get it open, collapse back down. By the way, I was naked, no clothes, laying on the bathroom floor with an Amazon Basic flung to the side, clutching my ribs. Girl opens the door, sees me, a broken naked mess, and do you think that, she helped me, that she took action? Nuh-uh. She then proceeds to have a nervous breakdown. I fall and seemingly crack my ribs, and her reaction is to have a nervous breakdown. She basically collapses to the floor and starts crying and offers me absolutely no help. I inch my broken, naked body closer to her and gingerly reach out with my hand, and I touch hers and I tell her, it's gonna be okay. Worst case scenario, my ribs are broken. But it'll be alright. I'm on the floor, a bathroom tiled floor with what I think are broken ribs, and I'm consoling the person that found me. It was then, and only then, that her roommate sprung into action. The very roommate that bought the bath mat that just tried to murder me. So essentially, the roommate, who is an accessory to murder, has to come in and help me. The naked roommate. The naked boyfriend of the roommate. So I at this point, used the bath mat that just tried to kill me to cover myself. You know, my region, my nether regions. I used the Amazon Basic bath mat that basically tried to kill me to cover my garden of good and evil. I didn't want that all out there in the open. You know, fast forward to the EMTs coming in, because they had to call an ambulance because I couldn't get up. And the EMT, by this time I at least was able to somehow slip on a pair of sweatpants, because I didn't want that Amazon basically killed me bath mat to be the only thing that I was wearing to cover Geppetto's workshop down there, you know? So EMTs come, lift me up, get me to the hospital. Long story short, I didn't even break my ribs. I'm just a big ass bitch, basically. Big Bitch with Will Bryant. A show that makes you feel like a bitch again. Break your ribs? Not really. You just fell down and got hurt and couldn't get up. I don't have cool injury stories. I used to play football for 1 year, freshman year of high school. Got concussed twice. Might sound kind of cool, right? Oh, you got concussed in football? Not really, because I got concussed by my own teammate during practice. What? My own teammate knocked me unconscious during practice. Not a game. Like the great AI once said, not a game. We talking about practice. We talking about practice, bro. And here's the thing: we were practicing like kickoffs and kick returns. Which, if anyone out there that's ever played football, y'all know that's the last thing you practice on the day. Like usually, that's the last thing you practice on a Friday. The last thing you practice on the week, heading into the game. It's literally like, all right, let's get this out of the way. So we were wrapping up with practice for the week. And one of the shortest kids on the team, who happened to be in my homeroom, by the way, I still remember, just runs at me with the crown of his helmet under my face mask. By the way, this is what I was told, because I don't remember. But he just cracks me. And apparently the first thing that hit the floor was the back of my head. That was practice. I was a terrible football player. And so was he. But he laid me out that day. I think he was mad that he didn't get any playing time. But here's the thing, I didn't get any playing time either. So why take it out on me? Well, I guess that's smart. If you're going to take it out on somebody, take it out on somebody that will in no way affect the outcome of the game. And that's what he did. Dude, I'm so old. I'm 35, guys. When I played football, coaches didn't care about concussions. I actually got concussed on that play in practice. And by the time I came to, the coach told me to get back online for the next kickoff. Practice. I remember getting concussed during a game. Finally a game. Not practice, but a game. I got concussed in a game in the fourth quarter of a game we were getting blown out of. Because I never got any playing time when the game was actually on the line. No. I only played when it was out of reach, and why bother having our starters get hurt? And I remember I got knocked out. I came to, went to the sideline. My coach looked at the starter, who he did not want to put back in the game and risk injury, and looked at me and said, "Yeah, all right, get back out there." And I did, because I was like, yeah, I get to play some more. We didn't know what the hell concussions was about back then, man. But yeah, getting knocked out by your own teammate during practice, I don't think that's very cool. Maybe it's a little bit cooler than trying to be murdered by a bath mat or hurting yourself during a cough. This is my life. Not the coolest injury stories. I know. I once burned my finger because I melted a pair of sneakers that I was trying to dry on a campfire. Not a lie. My finger started blowing up. It was a 2nd-degree burn immediately. My thumb blistered up 3 times its size. In fact, one of my favorite pictures ever taken of me, like a week later, at this gig I was DJing, I'm doing like these finger guns, and you can clearly see a destroyed, blistered up injury on one of my thumbs. My shoes melted while I was trying to dry them on a campfire, and the plastic melted like around my finger, and I couldn't get it off. It's a stupid story too, huh? Stupid injury stories. I don't have cool ones. Yeah, I wish it was like, oh yeah, I tried to nail this this kickflip down these stairs, or I was hitting this wave out in Maui. Even if my sports injury was a cool one that happened like in an important play in a game, But nah, not me, not this guy. I'm at work shaking cocktails, thinking I'm a tough man because I'm powering through a pulled muscle in my back that I gave myself coughing. It's the life I live. I'm feeling better now. Kind of. My back's almost there. No concussions lately. No football lately. I joined football for the dumbest reason ever. Back when I was I guess what was I, 13, 14? Because I told you I played freshman football. We there was no streaming back then. The way that we watched movies that were kind of new, then not on HBO yet, there was a pay-per-view. Yeah, you could get movies on pay-per-view. And people like me, we had the box. And y'all know what the box is, you had a good life. Because the box was this illegal thing. Sorry, it is illegal. Where you can basically get cable for free. And you could get these pay-per-view channels for free. It's how I was able to watch pretty much every wrestling pay-per-view of all time for free at home. I saw all those Tyson fights back in the day, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, all that stuff. And I know what you dirty-minded mother effers are thinking right now. Oh, that means you got those porn channels for free too. And I did. But that's not what we're talking about here, okay? So get your mind out the gutter. I had this box, and I remember seeing Remember the Titans on TV. Left side, strong side. I saw that movie, and I coincidentally knew that my high school was holding football tryouts that very weekend. And I saw Remember the Titans, and like an idiot, I told myself I have to play football. Now, I never played a single second of football in my entire life. I saw Denzel Washington in Remember the Titans And I said, yes, please. And I went to the tryouts that weekend. Now, they called them tryouts. But my school, St. Francis Prep, was so bad at football that as long as you showed up and didn't quit, you were on the team. That's how I did it. I remember my parents were like so proud of me for making the team. They're like, oh, that's great. How many people were cut? Nobody. People are just quitting. This sucks. I made the team because I just didn't quit. But I wanted to, bro. I was so bad. I was like a lot fatter back then, still with zero athleticism. So they just put me on the line. I was offensive lineman. I got manhandled. That's when I learned that some people are just built different. And I am not one of those people. I was manhandled on the field. Manhandled. You talk about come to Jesus moments. Woo! One of the most embarrassing moments I've had. Another kickoff, but this time it was actually in a game. I was on a kickoff, and I was lined up as close to the opposing team's sideline as possible. I mean, I was hearing them chirp in my ear. And I'm on kick return, and my job is to fall back about 10 yards and then block. Well, I fell back about 10 yards, turn around to block this dude, and he launches me another 5 yards, puts me flat on my ass. I go rolling backwards another 3 yards, and I hear the entire opposing team just give it to me, man. Oh, he got laid the fuck out. Oh, man, look at it. Look, he's still rolling. He don't know where he is. And they were right. I did not know where I was. I was still rolling. I was messed up. Got up. Had no impact on that play whatsoever. As I usually did on football plays. That guy was faster, bigger, stronger. I had no chance. I remember being so naive, like at 13, thinking like, yeah, like I could probably win any fight that I'm ever in. Then I joined football and I was like, oh, I should avoid danger at all costs. And I've lived my life like that ever since. Somehow danger finds me though. I'm not the most graceful person in the world. Also not the luckiest person in the world. So when you combine a lack of grace and a lack of luck, there's a lot of chance for injury. And my friends will tell you that's pretty much exactly what happens with me. I get hurt in the dumbest ways sometimes, man. The most pathetic moment in terms of fighting through injury, I remember I once clipped my nails right before a shift of bartending, and I was opening so many cans of beer that night that I cut myself just a little bit between my nail and my finger, and then I kept having to open beer for the rest of the night and shake cocktails and get some lime juice in there. And I had this moment where I felt pain in my hand, but I was like, there's no freaking quitting tonight, Will. And I shook the shit out of that cocktail. I felt so proud as I poured that margarita or whatever it was. And I had this moment where I was like, wow. Wow, Will. There are people out there that fight through injury to play professional sports. There are people out there that fight through injury to protect this country. And me, I'm here thinking I'm tough shit because I'm fighting through lime getting in my little nick between my finger, in my fingernail. I really think I'm a tough guy because of that. Yeah, I'm here pouring these shots. Someone's got to do it. I don't have much in my life to feel tough about. So I gotta find my opportunities when I can. Leave me alone. I did not intend to talk to. Actually, I didn't even intend to talk about my injuries at all today. But I definitely didn't intend to talk about them for this long. I don't have good injury stories. In fact, they're all just bad luck, really. I mean, like, I've gotten beat up a bunch and never, like, I never really deserved it. Did I? Not really. I do a good job of, like, kind of avoiding trouble and staying out of trouble for the most part. I had a stint there where I said dumb things for a while, but yeah, I just had bad luck growing up. I remember one time, I just told the story to someone at work. I was walking home the day before Thanksgiving, and I was on my block in my house, the block from my apartment, and someone comes up to me and asks me if I have $5. And I turned around and I thought that it was a friend of mine just trying to, like, prank me, because he had, like, a beanie down low, a hood up, and he kind of looked like him in a brief glance. So I thought it was a joke, and I was like, oh yeah, and I pulled this guy's beanie off of his head, thinking it was my friend. It was not my friend. And he proceeded to punch me. I remember, by the way, I'm in 6th grade for this. This guy, probably in high school at the time, I took his beanie off after he asked me for $5 and he punched me in the face. And I remember, saying, I thought you were my friend. I thought you were my friend. In the face. And I can only imagine how confused this thief was at this moment. He must be thinking, the hell is this kid talking about? I'm just trying to rob you. Why the hell would he think I'm his friend? But that's all I could muster up to say at that moment. I was in shock. I was getting my ass handed to me. And then his friend, his actual friend, came in, I kid you not, with a jumping sidekick, like fucking flying through the air. Wah! Ribs area, again with the ribs. And I remember just being, like, back against the wall. Literally, there was a brick wall right behind me, and they just were, like, pummeling me. All because, like an idiot, I took this guy's. Now, who knows? Maybe they would have beaten me up regardless when, I don't know, I didn't have any money, or who knows? Knowing me, maybe I would have just given them money. I don't even know if I had cash on me. That's the thing. I wasn't exactly a brave person back then. I probably would have just given them money. I don't know. But I took the guy's beanie off. I don't know what got into me, dude. Like, in a vacuum, could you imagine your reaction to getting robbed is to take the attacker's clothes off? He was so confused and could only just respond with anger, and he just started punching the living daylights out of me. I remember someone was, this was right outside of a Dwayne Reed. It might have been a Rock Bottom at the time, but either way, some woman came out, and I just remember her yelling at these guys to, like, leave me alone. And I took the first opportunity I could to just run. And I remember it was the day before Thanksgiving because I chipped a tooth, and I couldn't eat properly the next day, and that was the worst part of all. That, and also, like, having to explain 70 times to my huge family one day after the biggest trauma of my life what happened. Because I didn't, I had marks on me. I was all messed up. But that, by the way, is 3 of the 4 concussions I was talking about. Yeah, that one, oh God, I still wonder if I just didn't take his freaking beanie off. Probably wouldn't have gotten my ass kicked. There's some good food that I missed out on that year. Happens. Bad luck. Like I said, though, it's not really, like, I wasn't asking for that one. I messed up a little bit, but it wasn't. I could understand if I was running my mouth or something like that, but I was just coming home, man. I was coming home. I had the day off from school. I was with my friends. Happens. I remember one time, I remember one time I got punched in the face because after I was dropping off my girlfriend at home, someone that lived in her building said that I had no right to be on his block. He came up to me with 4 of his friends, punched me right in the face. Because I was on the wrong block. I don't even live in the hood. I grew up in Flushing, Queens. It's not a bad area. I mean, it's not a great area. But it's not, Marcy Projects, it's not the Bronx. Nothing against the Bronx, but y'all know where you know what you live in. You know what you have over there. It was not like it was, deep Brooklyn when Brooklyn was really bad. I was in Flushing, Queens. I just had bad luck. Whatever. My bad luck goes from taking beanies off the wrong people to stepping on the wrong bath mats. The hell, man. The hell. Big kid, huh? I was a kid when I was getting beat up for no reason. I also think, however, that, listen, I'm not glad that I got my ass kicked so many times, but I am at least glad that I know what that's like, because I do think that there's something to be said about somebody that's just never been punched in the face. You ever met someone and you just knew this guy's never been punched in the face? He's talking like someone that has no idea that there's actual consequences to things in life. Perhaps a little bit of a privileged life. But there's something to be said about understanding that there's a cause and effect to things and that there are consequences to actions. And I think in the long scheme of things, it's actually perhaps a little healthy for you to get roughed up a little bit once or twice in your life. Builds character. Now, I don't know what kind of character. Might build some terrible character, but I think it's good for you. As long as it doesn't, you don't get injured for the rest of your life or something like that. Getting punched in the mouth might help you down the road, man. I actually truly believe that. And I think I only say that because I have to believe that to turn this into a positive somehow. What can I say? I remember the first time that I was gonna chill, or that I did chill with a friend of mine outside of high school, and this dude Dave, we're like best friends to this day. But the first time that we ever were hanging out ever outside of school, I got held up at gunpoint on my way to meet him. It was broad daylight, bro. In Main Street, Flushing, Queens, one of the busiest streets in all the 5 boroughs. We were meeting up to go to our other friend's house to watch. I think that might have been the first time that I saw Scarface or something. We met up to watch a movie. Might have been Scarface. And I had to get on the 7 train, and I was gonna meet up with someone. I think it was with him and someone else, at one stop, and then we were gonna meet up with other people at another stop, and so on and so forth. And I, living on Main Street in Flushing had to be the first one. And I remember I was walking down Main Street on my Nokia cell phone. Do you remember those Nokias that had the very easily removable case? And you could go to a mall and you can buy whatever case you wanted for $15-20 and just change the complete look of your phone. You could make your phone red, blue, green. You can make it clear. You can make it, they had cases with cartoon characters on it, with logos, with team logos. You could literally, the Nokia phone cases became its own business in a sense. And I remember it was a big thing that carts in the mall would just have hundreds of different phone cases you could choose for your Nokia. And I remember I had recently bought a silver, like a like shiny silver phone case with a picture of the Pink Panther on it. That's it. Pink Panther on my phone case. And I'm walking down Main Street talking to my girlfriend at the time. I'm going to say a sophomore or junior in high school. So 15, 16, something like that. And I'm walking down the street and I see someone look at me and like my phone specifically. And by this point, I've already gone through so much of this bad luck that I've been talking to you guys about. I've already had my ass handed to me a couple of times by that dude whose beanie I took off. I already gone through that, you know. I already gotten punched in the face for dropping this very same girlfriend off at her apartment. I've gone through like some dumb stuff in my past already. So I saw this guy look at me and the phone and kind of like motion something towards me, but I just pretended like I didn't see it, but I knew it. And I literally told my girlfriend on the phone, "Oh damn, I think I'm about to get jumped." And she was like, "What?" I walk into this deli that this deli's right on the corner, and it has like two doors, so you can enter from either side of the corner of the block. And so I walk into this deli as like a last resort ditch effort that maybe if I'm in the deli, I won't get robbed. And I'm in the deli and I see the guy outside and I tell my girlfriend again, who at this point is like just confused and scared. And I'm weirdly calm and cool about it. I'm like, damn, yeah, this guy's right outside. He's looking right at me. Now his friend's with him. And I think that they're about to rob me. And she's almost like confused that I'm not panicking. And I think because I didn't panic, she maybe wasn't believing it or processing it correctly. And I very calmly was like, I gotta go. They're coming in right now. And I hang up my Nokia phone with the silver case and Pink Panther on it. And this guy walks in with his friend. And now the guy that saw me, he's like quiet. And his friend, it's almost like his friend is like his agent or manager. It was weird. He walked right up to me. And he's like, "Hey, yo, you know what this is already, right?" And I was like, yeah. He's like, you're gonna have to give that up. And I was just like so like bummed about it, like, but I'm not gonna lie, there was like no fight in me. Like I just did not want to get my ass handed to me again. I had already gone through, getting punched in the face, getting kicked in the ribs, getting stomped out. I had already gone through being outnumbered and intimidated. Like I was not the fighter. I was not that person, So I took my phone out and I immediately just gave it up. And this is the thing that fucks with me the most. This is the thing that bugs me out the most to this day, is that once I gave the thief's agent, because the guy that robbed me didn't even do any of the talking. He just mean mugged me the whole time while his like boy did all the talking. It was so weird. So I gave up the phone to his agent, essentially. And the dude goes like, "Aight, good looking," and like puts out his hand to like give me a dap, and me, stupid ass idiot, I just got my ass robbed by this dude, like he didn't even throw a punch. He just basically negotiated with me. like it was an episode of Ari Gold and Entourage getting Vince exactly what he wanted. He negotiates me out of my phone, and then puts out his hand, and I give him a dap. I give him a pound. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. You know, thanks for robbing me like that. And he then motions with his head to head towards the other door that's behind me. And I walk out the door, and they follow me in broad daylight, dude. And it's right outside the 7 train on Main Street. And I turn around because these guys are following me, and the dude like just shows the butt of a gun like at his waist. He opened up like his jacket a little bit, and I don't think I comprehended what was going on. He pulled it out like a little bit, so I guess the term held up at gunpoint, if I'm being like as literal as possible, he never actually pointed the gun at me. He showed it, he lifted it up a little bit, but I guess at gunpoint, you got me. Technically not, but he had the gun. It was broad daylight too. And I guess they realized, well, it took zero effort at all to get that phone from him. Let's try to get some money from him now, because they asked me if I had any money now. And I said no. I probably did. I had probably $20 or $40 maybe in my wallet. I don't know. I'm a 16-year-old kid. And at that point, like a cop walked like across the street or something, and they felt like the area was a little too hot. And so they put he just like kind of tucks his gun back into his like pants, walks away. And someone like points towards the stairs, heading into the subway. And like I look down and I just feel, I'm to this day I'm not sure. I think it was like a kick, like a Spartan kick from 300. But I just felt a push or a kick or something, and I got launched down those steps, and I went like rolling down. And I'm telling you, it was like 4 PM, and I went tumbling down. And the way the steps works is that there's a flight of steps, like a plateau, and then another flight of steps, and then you're in the train station. I was on that plateau, and I looked up. So if I look up, there's stairs, and I have to look down, there's stairs. I look up, and there's one of the guys just still staring down at me, and I'm not going back up that way. I had to take the train anyway, so I look down, and by the way, not a single person helped me up. And I get up, I pull myself up, I get my MetroCard, and I swipe on, and I get onto that 7 train. And I'm kind of in shock. And I ride the train just a couple of stops, and I meet up with one of my friends. And then I'm with her when my buddy Dave arrives, and I tell them what happened. And I remember it wasn't until like that moment that I had to like retell what just went down, that's when it hit me. And that's when I started breaking down in tears. It was the first time that I chilled with my boy outside of school. I was 16. I'm 35 now, and we're still best friends. But that's the first time we chilled. Bad luck, man. Bad luck. He'll tell you too, man. He's seen me go through it. He says, yeah, you got bad luck. People don't normally get jumped as much as you do. Don't get attacked. Don't get robbed as much as you do. Especially when you don't live in the hood. I don't know why. I didn't live in the hood, dude. I really didn't. I lived in a decent area. I mean, I didn't live in a house. I didn't have a yard. That's how I always thought. That's to me how I knew like someone was richer than me. If they just start dropping sentences like, oh, when I went upstairs to my room, I'm like, whoa, you have stairs? I was hanging out in my backyard. Whoa, you have a yard? Yeah, me and my brother were playing in the basement. Whoa, you have a basement? Yeah, when my dad came home. Whoa, you have a dad? Just hints here and there that you have more money than me. But anyways, bad luck, man. Bad luck. Shout out to Dave. That day, even though I got jumped and held up at gunpoint, or held up with a gun in the vicinity of the area, still kind of remember that as a good day. Isn't that weird? One of the worst things ever to ever happen to me on that day, but I still remember it as not just the day I got robbed for my Pink Panther phone. That's like the first time I hung out with one of my friends that ended up becoming a friend for life. I wonder if that, we probably would have been good friends regardless, but that was kind of a weird bonding moment. That's when he realized, man, this guy's got shitty luck. It happens, man, I guess. I remember, when when I got jumped that day before Thanksgiving, when I took that kid's hat off, I had already been in Taekwondo for a couple of years, and I actually made it all the way to black belt. I am a black belt in Taekwondo, technically. I have never, I don't think I've ever, since like being the age of 16, have I ever said that to someone and like bragged about it. Because I've gotten my ass handed way too often to ever brag about the fact that I'm a black belt in Taekwondo. Yeah, the first thing my dad said to me, my stepdad, who's essentially my dad, the first thing my stepdad said to me after I was attacked by two people the day before Thanksgiving was, "Why did we pay all that money for your black belt then?" Because apparently it's really expensive to achieve or earn, quote unquote, your black belt in Taekwondo. My mom told me she paid like $1,000 or something like that. Essentially, if you don't quit Taekwondo for like a year or two, you should make it to black belt. Now, do I know how to kick? Yeah, sure, a little bit. Am I a little bit more flexible than your average person? Yeah, kinda. But that black belt that my mom paid $2,000 for, I don't know, back when I was like 12 or 13, has won me absolutely zero fights in my life. And unfortunately, I've been in way more than zero fights in my life. The amount of times that I've been in an altercation and I said, thank God that I'm a black belt in Taekwondo. Never. You know what? I'm lying. Maybe the first time. And then I realized, oh, these kicks mean nothing when you're getting punched in the face by three people. All that my stepdad could think about as he stared at his son with a chipped tooth and a concussion was, why did I spend all that money? Spend like $1,000 on your black belt, and here I'm gonna have to spend even more money on your medical bills that you should have avoided with that black belt in the first place. I did not make my karate or taekwondo instructor proud that day. I have never successfully used a single strike that I learned in taekwondo ever on anyone. I have used some chokes that I saw on YouTube successfully. Thank you, Henzo Gracie. But Taekwondo, I have a lot of trophies at home. Maybe I could hit someone over the head with them. They're way more dangerous than my kicks are. And hell, I ain't as flexible as I used to be back then. Knowing me, I will tear my groin in half if I try throwing a roundhouse kick. Dude, I'm pulling my back muscles while coughing. You think I'm going to throw a roundhouse kick successfully right now? Get the hell out of here. I'm here staring at a bunch of notes, or I should say a bunch of like bullet points that I had that I was going to use to talk to you guys about stuff. I have literally not talked about any of these things. I started off about hurting my back, and I've gone 55 minutes telling embarrassing stories of how I've hurt myself throughout my life. Not always myself, how other people have hurt me too. I just keep getting attacked. Bad luck. Bad luck. It's all good though. It's all good. Thankfully, I haven't been attacked in a while, which is good since I'm a bartender. I feel like I'm kind of open for attack on a daily basis there, but knock on wood, not yet. I've had stuff thrown at me, but you know what? I'm not going to talk about that. Not today. Because next week, I actually will talk to you about a bunch of stuff that happens to me that I experience while I'm bartending. See, like I said earlier, I am a bartender. And I've always wanted to record an episode about my bartending stories. I've got a couple. I also think that as a bartender, I have maybe some good advice about how to act at a bar, the do's and don'ts of visiting a bar, perhaps. I also think that what you order at a bar and how you order it could be kind of important too. Might say something about you. What does what you order at a bar say about you? Maybe I'll help you out with that. Other than that, I've got a bunch of just stories that are pretty unique to the bartending lifestyle. And I figured, what better time than to drop this knowledge, this wisdom on you than next week, right before the biggest drinking holiday of the year. Oh, buddy, can I not wait to sling drinks and cocktails for you guys on St. Patrick's Day, coming up March 17th. So next week, I'm going to come at you with some tips on how to treat us bartenders on our busiest day of the year. Be nice to us, man. That should be number one. Now, this is outside of my normal Saturday morning cartoon series. I will be coming at you this Saturday with part 2 of season 4 of X-Men the Animated Series. And then next week, I'll be hitting you up with that do's and don'ts of drinking at bars so that you guys can treat all of you bartenders and servers with a lot of respect this weekend. Because it's tough for us, man. It's tough. I had some things I was going to talk about today, but honestly, I just spent an hour talking about all the times I got beat up, and I think that's good enough. That's good enough. I guess that's what happens when I don't prepare. I just talk shit about myself for an hour and hope that you guys enjoy it. And I think you will. Be sure to rate and review this show on Apple Podcasts. Be sure to follow me at I'm Will Bryant on all platforms. That's at I'm Will Bryant. 3 words. It's the same on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Twitch, at I'm Will Bryant. This has been Big Kid with Will Bryant, the show that makes you feel like a kid again. I'm your host. I'm Will Bryant. Until next time, stay safe and peace.